The banks give the impression that they'll lend money for a mortgage to anyone. Well, that's far from the truth. Thousands of families find they don't qualify because of their savings or work history. But now there's a new player in Australia aiming to help those would-be homeowners who've been rejected by the banks. As Michelle Tapper reports, business is already booming.
Every bank we went to, we just didn't qualify.
If you've been rejected from a bank, that doesn't mean you can't own your own home.
Hard-working families rejected by the big banks. They're frustrated, bewildered and hurt.
It was a catch-22. Every time you saved enough deposit, the prices of property would go up again.
It's very heartbreaking. The dream home was going further and further away.
Liz and Mike Newstead saved for years to raise a $10,000 deposit for a home loan.
All I wanted in life was just to own my own home, to give my children something for the future.
But when their eldest daughter was struck down with leukemia, they spent their deposit on her treatment. Mike had to quit his job as a travelling salesman, and their dreams of owning their own home were dashed.
Even though we were able to save about $5,000 back as a deposit, it still didn't meet the bank's criteria for savings history.
They said we didn't have a steady saving history and that, we hadn't been in work for long enough.
Catherine and John Tippler got a similar spiel. As a self-employed plumber, he was repeatedly turned down for a loan by banks.
Over the years, would have gone through over 10 of them for sure. They just won't even look at you. Don't give you a chance.
A lot of people who are self-employed, or they're new Australians, or don't have the deposit requirements, or don't fit within the bank guidelines, can buy homes through We Buy Houses.
Rick Otten is the founder of We Buy Houses, a unique organisation helping families break through the financial barriers to home ownership. He'll give almost anyone a loan and find them a house.
We can help you buy a house if you've got a minimum deposit of $10,000.
And if you qualify for the First Homeowners Grant, which is a $7,000 government rebate, that means you only need to save $3,000.
They don't have to go through the hoops that they have to go through with the banking system.
But there is a catch. Rick charges 2 to 3% more than a regular bank loan. Then again, his loans are only meant to be short-term.
We are a stepping stone that allows people to buy their own home and after a year or so, refinance into the standard banking system.
We didn't mind paying the higher interest rate because it was the only way that we would actually be able to buy a house now and not have to wait for another 20 years to try and save the deposit.
Last February, Liz and Mike bought a 4-bedroom home from Rick. They refinanced at a lower interest rate with a bank earlier this year.
I love the fact that we're paying off our own home rather than spending the rest of our life renting. Paying dead money, that's what it is.
In April this year, Catherine and John found a 4-bedroom fibro that needed renovating for just over $160,000.
To buy a house for $160,000, to go to a normal lender, you need 20% deposit, which is $32,000 compared to our $5,000 that we needed to go through We Buy Houses, which is a big difference.
We Buy Houses has helped almost 40 Australian families in the past 3 years and some 300 families in America where they've been in business for almost 10 years.
Well, we negotiate hard to buy houses at a discount and then we just find people, of which there's a whole market share of people, who are unable to qualify for homes tomorrow, and we make our houses available to those people.
Yeah, he is the Aussie battler's friend.
And now those battlers are forging new frontiers.
We bought it for $161,000 and it's worth between $200,000 and $250,000.
A year and a half ago, we paid $131,000 for this house. It's valued today at around $220,000.
So, if you're one of thousands of families snubbed or rejected by the big banks because you don't have a huge deposit or credit history, We Buy Houses might just be the solution you need.
It might not be the best looking house in the world, but it's ours. It's ours. We're on the way to owning it.
Now the banks are chasing us saying, would you like a credit card? So it's just really different to be treated differently by a bank when before you just couldn't even get them to give you a free rubber stamp. So it's a good feeling.